Hey guys, I'm Sean, and I am an ARKaholic. And guys, I'm going to be honest, it's pretty fitting that it's raining at the beginning of this video because, well, curiosity killed the cat. And I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and name this video because last episode, we did a couple of tests because this passive XP thing, although it's not that big of a deal, has been driving me absolutely nuts. So I wanted to do a couple of tests with you guys to see if ultimately we can get this fixed. And if some of you guys are having the same issue, here you go. Here's the solution. You're welcome. We ended up leaving this map, heading over to the center with the Pyromane, coming back. That didn't fix it. We ended up using a Mind Wipe tonic. That didn't fix it. We ended up going ahead and changing our XP from 0.75 to 0 to then back to 0.75. And that didn't fix it. Then we did the final test, which was, well, let's see if it's an ARK bug or a character bug. Let's head over to the island, make a brand new character, and see if it works. And sure enough, it worked. And on top of that, too, we ended up running another test with the Testaholic character that we changed the XP from 0.75 to 0, jumped back in the game, and then changed the XP back to 0.75, and it fixed itself. So ultimately, guys, the conclusion is our character is completely bugged. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest. I know it's not that big of a deal. It's something that I think a lot of people can live with. I don't think I can live with that. And I know that sounds a bit harsh, but guys, I'm going to be honest. I haven't recorded in a couple days. I kind of wanted to think about this decision and everything before actually making it. But I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue this series. But we're going to start with a brand new character. So what does that exactly mean? So episode 20 or episode 21, whatever we are in the Forever Ark series, it's all going to be bundled together as the Forever Ark because that is kind of the idea. We are just starting fresh with a brand new character, if that makes sense. Now, guys, for those of you that have watched my channel for a while, I think you kind of noticed right when I realized that it was a character issue and there was pretty much nothing that we can do to fix this issue. Not to say that you noticed it straight away that this was going to be coming. I think you guys did see a shift in my voice, though. I 100% felt it. There was a pit in my stomach right at that moment of just a crap. Because that seed just got planted straight into my head. And yeah, without over-explaining kind of the decision and all that kind of stuff and going down a rabbit hole and everything, I do just want to make one point, which is really the point that kind of hammered it home for me and made me realize that, yes, this is the right decision to go this path. Guys, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, if I'm not recording this for you guys, if I'm just casually playing on my own and I came across this issue, I'm resetting everything and starting over, guys, and I'm not thinking twice about it. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at this, is simply I would do it. You guys probably would do it. I know there's going to be people in the comments that might say, hey, nah, I wouldn't do it. Hey, you're entitled to your opinion, but I know personally this seed is just going to keep growing and growing and growing, and I don't want to get further and further and further into the series, and then we ultimately have this conversation at some point, because it would be coming. I'm going to tell you guys now, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this thought out of my head. So it does have to happen. It is what it is, and I'm going to kind of just leave it at that. So for today's episode, we're going to be keeping this a little bit of a shorter one, guys. I want to take a trip around the map and kind of go down memory lane here. And I know it's going to be a little bittersweet, but I guess we will go ahead and kind of start in our area that we've been living in right now. Guys, I really love this base. I know it wasn't my original design, and I apologize. I cannot remember exactly who built this base. I'd have to go back in that episode to see who I credited and everything. Incredible base, very small, but at the same time, it worked for exactly what we needed it to do. I do love the mannequin idea. Whoever gave me that suggestion, I really, really love that. Definitely going to be doing something like that here in the future, too. I love the visual storage mod. That's definitely something we are going to continue to use. I am going to be honest, I think this is my favorite part of the base, and granted, we barely use this. Oh, the fireplace has a -44, too. That's crazy. Okay, so it's not just the forges, interestingly. What about you guys? Oh, you're at negative 44 too. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. I showed this issue off a couple of episodes ago with the smithy. The smithy is at like negative 4,000 and something. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with it, but it is what it is. No big deal. Mannequins, absolutely huge. I would love to do those more in the future. Training dummies, technically they're called, not mannequins, to kind of hold our armor and everything. I absolutely love this idea, and this is something that I'm definitely going to be using in the future. I love this area. I really do. I think we are going to definitely go ahead and really dive into the augment station and this blueprint station. We really need to dive into the stuff and get ourselves some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But I always love setting up kind of the crafting area. I don't really know. The workshop. That's what we'll call it. The workshop. I always love setting up the workshop. I always think that any design I go with, it always just fits really, really well. And this honestly was a really cool part of my base that I really liked. But again, different custom cosmetics we're definitely going to be using here. I absolutely love this kind of stuff. What else here? Obviously, the boat, absolutely incredible. Again, can't remember who did that either. Apologies if maybe during the editing of this episode, maybe I will give credit to both of the people that went ahead and made these original designs. This boat is insane. I absolutely love it. I know we really didn't use it much, but for the time that we did use it, I think this thing was absolutely awesome. Would love to make something like that or attempt to make my own version of it here in the future. I just don't know if I had that creative capacity, if I'm going to be honest. We have the Equises. Bailey Jameson, you were absolutely awesome for the time that we used you. I loved your colors. I really wish we could use you in the future, but we'll get another Equus. Maximus, really, really cool. Love the fact that we kind of got some of the colors from the Arcology mod onto this one. I think Maximus was just really, really good. And then Rusty, of course, because I couldn't think of another name. And yeah, he looks a little rusty. That's all it is. He kind of just looks rusty. But hey, you were an oldie but goodie, buddy. And yeah, let's kind of move on to the Valkyrie. And I guess we'll say goodbye to all the other teams that are inside of the cryopods and everything. Goodbye, kids. Fuego, you were great while we had you. Now you are just a personal chef. Valkyrie, absolutely awesome. Obviously, I don't want this to be a damper, as in, like, again, I know I keep over-explaining this kind of thing, but I do just want to confirm I'm not blaming the mod at all or anything like that. I'm personally blaming myself. And I will say, maybe partially the mod specifically. It's just one of those things that, like, okay, if I get rid of the mod, though, it kind of screws your whole thing up, in a sense. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I love the Arcology mod, but I guess it's just one of those things that if you're going to put it onto your series, you kind of have to commit that it's going to be there the entire time. And at least for me, you guys know me. I'm not that kind of person. I go in and out of different mods and everything like that. So, yeah, personally, it just wasn't a right fit for me. I guess I'll say that. And I did kind of find myself with the Arcology mod specifically trying to focus on finding the Arcology creatures as opposed to going for vanilla, and I think it just became a little too much, if I'm going to be honest. Then, of course, the icing on the cake was my big mistake of, you know, the XP and the... we're not going to go through it again. Obviously, that's just the major issue at the end of the day. But, guys, I'm going to go ahead and fly all the way over to the jungle biome, because that is where we started the series off. We'll take a look at that. We'll say hello to Spike, and, yeah, you know... We'll kind of keep it short and sweet and to the point. And I know some of you guys might be a little upset by it, but hey, at the end of the day, guys, you're getting consistent content. It's kind of fitting, too, when I'm trying to make this sound a little bit better than it needs to be. Technically, the first episode that comes out for you guys, I will be officially a married man. So I guess that's another way we can kind of start out the series, you know what I mean? Oh, man. But anyways, such is life, I guess. I know a lot of people are going to say it's not that big of a deal. And no, I 100% agree with you. It's not that big of a deal. Most people can live without getting the passive XP. I can't. That's just going to be kind of like a little ticking time bomb for me. And eventually it's going to go off. So rather just cut the fuse now and call it a day. if that makes sense. And here I am over-explaining myself again. Guys, I swear, I'm trying not to. It's just one of those things. You guys know me. I like to talk, which means I use fillers, which means I'm going to repeat stuff and I'm going to over-explain. But anyways, we're heading in the right direction, right? That would be really bad. Yeah, we are. Okay. You can tell I haven't been to the jungle biome in a while when I'm asking, we heading the right way? I love this map. I really do. I think the mods are great that we've used. There are a couple of mods that have come out recently that I would like to also take a look at. They're nothing too crazy. Cosmetic skins, that kind of thing, where I like that kind of stuff. I like that kind of personalization where it's a quote-unquote lightweight mod where it doesn't really cause the game to change too much. It's just like a skin. You know what I mean? That's all it is. And I'll definitely show those off. But yeah, I think we'll also go ahead when it comes to dino mods. I think we're going to go full paleo, specifically. I think at the start of the series, we'll kind of do what we did here. We'll throw all the paleo mods on, except for the Rex and the Giga. And I think once we get the Rex and the Giga tamed, the vanilla ones, that's when we would go ahead and add that mod. I think it's called Paleo Evolution. Evolution. Oh my God, can I use proper words, please? I loved the... I can't remember what they're called, but the mod pack that is the Stiggy, the Styracosaurus, and the Europasaurus, that will definitely come into the next attempt, whatever the heck we want to call it. But yeah, I think I like the mods that we had so far. It's just an issue when you take a mod away, pretty much, and you do stupid stuff like I did, that I've never done that before. That's the other thing that's kind of kicking me, is I've never done anything like that before. I've never put myself at 0 XP. Even in the past on Ark Survival Evolved, like if I had to kill a kid and I didn't want the XP, I'd put myself at like 0.001, like the lowest you could in XP, just so the XP still went. I think ultimately the fact is that we ended up using the GCM gun to kill the alpha creatures, which is like a mini boss. So we definitely went ahead and screwed our character up that way, because we probably got a ton of XP, but the fact is that we were at 0 XP, so none of that XP got moved over, and it probably just, it just corrupted our character specifically, and that stinks. That stinks. That a stupid mistake that I made cost us this part of the series. You know what I mean? So I'll take full blame. If you guys do like the Arcology mod, I think it's a kick-ass mod. I think it's absolutely awesome. Enjoy it, honestly. But just be aware, don't be stupid like I am. So, guys, this was our first base. I absolutely love this base. We did make a couple of renovations to it, especially when we went ahead and made the boat that we saw over in the Highlands. Initially, what I wanted was, I kind of wanted this as a port where the boat could technically come through here, kind of drop off, and then we can go out again. But I think it's because of these rocks and all this stuff right here that we can't break, that wasn't going to be a thing. So we did end up moving the base back one foundation. Yes, one foundation. I had to move this whole thing back in order to get the boat to at least be able to come in here, kind of loop it around, and then we can go back out that way, which it's kind of funny. We made this whole like port area and never used it. But overall, guys, I absolutely loved this base. I know it's just a thatch base and everything, and it's pretty simple, but like using the new thatch structures and everything like that, oh man, so cool. And of course, guys, the OG Spike. Who did I want to name Spike after originally? Didn't I say Spike was the name of Sid's dog, which apparently is Scud? I didn't even know that's a word. I thought it was Spike. But yeah, Spike was pretty awesome for the time that we used her for. Yeah, pretty cool. I think in the future, Mo shops are definitely the way to go. Definitely to get that early game kibble and everything going. Here's what I will say about this series, guys. I have learned a bunch in this series, and I think that's what I really like about the game specifically is even with the amount of hours that everybody has, and again, I'm not flexing or anything here. That's not the point. I'm not saying like, oh, I have this many hours, so I'm an expert. No, I am clueless in this game, and I absolutely love that. After all this time, I don't know how many hours I have in this game. I think I mentioned it in previous episodes, but let's just assume, you know what? I don't even want to throw out a number. I know it's a lot. Let's put it that way. Between Ark Survival Evolved, between Ark Survival Ascended, I have a lot of hours in this game, and yet I learn stuff on a daily basis, whether it's through gameplay or through you guys, and I think that's the most frustrating part that I have with this game, because I'm so fucking invested. Even with all the bugs, even with all the issues, I am invested in this game, and I'm excited, guys. And I hope you guys are too. I don't want this to be a bit of a damper. I know it's a bit of an inconvenience, we'll call it. Let's put it that way. And yeah, blame me in the comments, guys, for my stupidity. But that's going to wrap up this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Next episode, guys, we are going to be starting with a brand new character. It will be called the ARKaholic. I'm not going to call it the Testaholic. And we'll see where we begin, because I'm kind of feeling like I'm going to surprise myself along with you guys where we're going to start out the series. But guys, like I said, that's going to wrap this one up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed all the adventures we've had on Ragnarok here so far, and I'll see you all in the next one for a brand new start.